Yo, nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up? All you happy hipsters out there. How are y'all, you awesome people doing? It's almost the end of the week, man. You can almost smell that Friday air. That Friday air is amazing, isn't it? I'm just saying, right? What's going on is all you awesome people start sliding on in, guys. Don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all of that good stuff. You know what to do. Yo. So, I see we got automatic boots in his house. We got the DJ here. Yo. We automatically got some boots up in here. Boots and cats dropping that FA up in here. Yeah. So while we're waiting for all the awesome people to show on up, guys, so yep, let's go ahead and dive right on into things. Yo, so NASDAQ is having a little bit of a tear. That's wild. The U.S. dollar is still gaining strength here. This is a reflection of the interest rates getting hiked up. That should strengthen the dollar because it's getting cheaper or more expensive to open new lines of credit. So now, instead of people trying to open up new lines of credit, they're wanting to work off their old debt, which is encouraging people to pay stuff off instead of paying it off with new debt. As the debt gets cheaper, it just makes more sense to consolidate all your debt into one lump loan. And if it doesn't make sense to do that, why get another loan? So I think that's starting to slow down the amount of people taking out loans at the corporate level, which is going to strengthen the dollar because there's not as many new dollars being created out of thin air. S&P 500's up almost a full point here, but we're not looking at all of that stuff. You know, we want to know what Bitcoin's doing, right? Bitcoin's up on the day just a little bit. I mean, we could see that up into the charts here. We are starting to roll over, guys. We are going to roll over a little bit more, and it looks like we are starting to unconsolidate here. We're retracting on the MA moving ribbon, which is going to show signal for more downward pressure here. So we almost held on to where I was kind of thinking before we would break down. Now, where I'm thinking that we're going to break down to, guys, is I don't see us really hitting a hard floor from here. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to nosedive, is what my consensus is on this one. I could be wrong. I'm no guru or fortune teller when it comes down to this, but it is rolling over. Where I'm thinking that we could hit is going to be right around that $24,000 Bitcoin, and then kind of see if we can hold that line. You know. We'll see. Time definitely does tell on all of that good stuff, right? And guys, we have a new meme. We have a new meme coin out. We got the memes out. There's new memes, and it's profitable to mine if you can get rid of it. If you got a 4090, you can be making you'd be making $4.57 profit at 11 cents a kilowatt hour, guys. This means that pretty much everything is profitable. A 6800 XT mining on here, making $1.45 a day over the electric. Damn! That is profits back. Hallelujah. Right? Right? I'm just saying. Can I get an FA in the Chizzity chat on that one, guys? Oh! So, definitely got that Pepe proof of work. Kind of working out if you can get rid of it. 3080 making $1 a day now. Damn, it's worth to turn my rigs back on. Damn, I knew it. I knew mining would come back. It was just a matter of what you were going to be mining. You are mining a poop coin, guys. It's Pepe proof of work. I do not recommend anyone to hold this coin in the slightest bit, guys. This is one of those, you mine it and dump it quicker than you can mine it. It's like you hold on to it and the price drops, it is on you. It is another meme coin. I don't trust meme coins. Period, guys. If it's profitable for the time being, and if I can double my 24-hour output, it's worth playing with my rigs. Just saying. Now, does it mean that it's going to be like this for days and weeks? Oh, hell no. Nobody's going to know. It depends on if Pepe Proof of Work here decides to be a rug pull. But you can come all the way down on this list, and you have to come down pretty far. The 7900 XTX is not profitable. Let's see here. If you got the CMP 30HX, you're good. 1660 Super, 1660 Ti, you're making 28 cents. It's amazing. Let's see here. Which ones are not making any money right today? We're not saying tomorrow, it's just today, right? Everything can be back to not making any money tomorrow. 1070s are still out, 580s are still out, 1060s are still out, 480s out, Vega 56 is out, 1080 Ti's are out, 1070 Ti's are definitely out. Arc A750 still not profitable. And then the A4500 still not profitable. Radeon 7s are not profitable. P104-100 still not profitable. So it's not like every single GPU out there is profitable, and not all of them can mine on that Pepe proof of work poop coin. So I'm all in on 1050 Ti's. Oh man, you are so F to the A. Or F'd in the A. Yeah, there you go. Where are all the R9 AMDs at? Those days are long gone. I have one. Hold on here. Here's your R9. This one is the R9 290. Like, I still have 3 of them mining with them. Oh my god, that electrically hurts my feelings. That they're wasting so much power. They haven't been profitable in many years. Unless you got free power. If you got free power, then, bro, you can mine with anything and you're good to go. But I'd still try to mine with something that had higher hash rate and better power density. Just me, though. But, I mean, it's like your A2000s. You can be making 41 cents with an A2000. Damn. So there will be glimmers of profitability here. You'll be mining some poop coins. This is when spec mining happens. When you guys are spec mining, please, for the love of God, do not hold on to these spec coins. The odds of them going anywhere are like slim to none. So please do not sit there and hold on to these things, speculating that you're gonna make up for the rest of the time that you weren't profitable. This is a meme coin. It's just for mining. Every time I see coins like this, few months were, at most that I've ever seen of profitability out of a coin like that, and the profitability starts diminishing the moment everybody starts piling in. And there's not very many miners that are mining on this. So if you guys are wanting to experiment with it, remember, you're going to have to figure out how to get rid of it. It's one thing to mine it But if you can't get rid of it, it is useless to you. But SRB Miner looks like the one to be utilizing that has support for meme hash, is what the algorithm is. It's like made $9 yesterday, added 2 more CPU miners today. Damn. Damn, son. That's what's up. That's what's up. And now you can make some pretty good stuff, especially if you got like, the AMD 5950Xs. You can do pretty good just on CPUs. A couple of those and an AMD 2700X. Yeah, you make some pretty good. Changing the BTC. Nice. So, I mean, it's like it's yeah. I'll stop your sentence right after the Bizity Bitcoin. We trade poop coins for Bitcoin. Yo. If you guys want to gamble after that point, that's all you. Hey, I'm very consistent with my message on that. It's like you play with anything outside of Bitcoin, you're gambling. Very clear on my message. I have not faltered not one bit here. Now, on the other hand, I will mine the hell out of some speculative poop coins in order to get more Bitcoin. 100%. And it looks like for at least the next 24 hours, Pepe proof of work it is. I'm just saying. Just saying. It's like little tidbits of gold right here. Little gold. Right here it is. I'm an OG channel here, and there's only a few of you people watching, so you just got like a little golden nugget right there going, yo, here's something that's profitable right now on the GPUs. You can turn your rigs on for the next 24 hours. After that, keep an eye on it. It may not be profitable tomorrow, but for the short term, you can earn some more Bitcoin today. That's what it's all about. This is how a miner DCAs into Bitcoin. Yeah, that's right. That is right. So, I mean, if you're like myself, I've got some 3090s. So we can click up into here, go to proof of work on this. And here is some of the settings for it. Core clock at 1440 megahertz. Memory lock at, and basically you're not even setting a core offset on there. You're just going to let it do its thing. And you should be able to get 63.46 mega hash on meme hash. And be making pretty decent for a card that it was like on the brink of being turned off here. Rude, I will take 3090s as long as they are free. As long as they are free, I'll take them. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. I wonder how Guntis is doing. One of these days, I gotta reach out to Guntis and be like, hey, what's up, dude? I don't see you no more. But I'm glad he's doing pretty good, though. Nah, man, it's like I wish I could afford more GPUs and stuff like that. Nah, not at this point. Not at this particular junction. All right, here as we go on here, just kind of organizing stuff in front of me. Sorry, people. Sorry. All right, here. So AMD 7900 X3D gets a $100 discount after 3 months because, you know, nobody wants a CPU that's going to die if you've got an Asus motherboard. And it's like, and if Asus can blow them up, who else can? AMD's got to like get with board partners a little bit better and make sure that everybody's on board with what's going on here. But it looks like you can get these chips now for $499. If you're a gamer, you know, it's like, yeah, that it has a little bit of a benefit to you. For anyone else, there is absolutely zero reason to get the X3D chip, which is going to be cut down to more single task performance versus AMD's traditional multitask performance. So if you want to do multitask performance, you're rendering, streaming, whatever, you're doing multiple tasks, you're going to want to get the 7900X non-3D. I don't recommend anybody grabbing the X3D chips in any way, shape, or form, even if they were to sit there and tell me, oh, these chips will not fail any further. And I'd be like, that, cool, I'm glad you fixed it. The performance that you're taking off the table by locking out that CPU the way that you have limits the functionality to me. So I find no value in that chip because it's not going to be something that's going to be, oh, let me be rendering video here, watching some YouTube here, and maybe having a game up over here. That CPU is going to start struggling because of how it's got its performance cores and non-performance cores going on. It's just the architecture on that chip. I'm not a fan of it. It's like I do have AMD in my computer. I'm just not a fan of particularly the X3D chips. It's not that I'm dogging on it. It's just that I would be looking at the 7900X, not the 7950X. You're just talking about the 7950X for a little bit more money. You're getting a bin chip. Usually, whenever I'm looking at a 79, if I was going to be looking at the 50X series on AMD, it'd be if the price difference was like $20-$30. You know, the chip's been out for a little while. The difference between the bin and the non-bin is really marginal. I'm going to go for the bin chip, you know. Outside of that, no. I'd be going for like the 7800X. Even the 7600X is a great value proposition. Middle of the road, gives you room to be able to upgrade later on when the 7900X chip comes down more in price. I mean, that's how I am. I'm a savvy buyer. When I got into the Threadripper lineup, I got into the 1900X because I knew that chip was going to be the entry-level chip to get into that platform. Gets me going, and I knew that there was a lot of little quirks with the first generation Threadripper that a lot of people didn't like, that I figured out workarounds on it. I figured out how to utilize the platform. I love the platform. Never had a problem. They're just heat monsters. That's all their problem. That's my only complaint is that they are heat monsters. But we're going to be looking at, it's like the 7950X. You're going to be looking at $629 or $652 on Amazon. The 7900 X3D, $499 on Newegg. The 7800 X3D will be $419 at Micro Center, $440 Newegg, and $449 on Amazon. So, I mean, you can see where the value proposition starts walking in as you come down the product stack. Jumping into between the 7600X and the 7700X. That's like that middle of the road where you get good performance for your dollar, in my opinion. Anything higher up on the product stack, is just you just going, I want balls to the wall, no expense spared computer. But it doesn't make any sense if you're putting it with a lower tier motherboard, with a lower tier GPU. You see where I'm going with that. I mean, like, and if you get the lower tier, a high end GPU, do you have the monitor to go along with it? It's like by the time you're done with building a high end computer, brand new high end computer right off the bat, you're over $5,000 on the computer, easy, easy. And where are you at on at the end of the day? Where are you at for your gaming rig or mining? It's like, because like that's how you can kind of justify going, you know what, I'm going to put the better GPU into my computer because when I'm going to go to sleep at night, it's going to mine. And now you can have, okay, I'm going to buy this better GPU and it's going to make a little bit of money back and it's going to offset the extra cost that I wasn't ready to take on. At least you get justification there. But if you're sitting there going balls to the wall for a computer, you're $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in. Mining on it, like, you don't even want to beat it up because you're like, oh man, if I beat it up, man, I'm gonna break something. What's up, Dakota Miner? What's up, John Jermaine Gundy? What's going on, all you awesome people? But I don't recommend going after the X3D chips, though. It's like I usually tell people, if you're gonna go after a product lineup. What's this? Now we got a bunch of people stopping at the end of my driveway talking. What's shaking, Crypto Nation? Yo. So I mean, that would be just me. Just kind of go. I like to build like right in the middle of the product stack line. It gives me best value for my dollar, and then it gives me chances to be able to upgrade in stages, and still have a working computer the entire time. That's where I see a lot of people. They're like, oh man, I'm waiting on the better GPU. And I'm like, why don't you just get something in the middle of the stack and then upgrade when that thing gets cheap and you can sell yours to offset some of the cost even further. And people are like, man, I didn't even think about doing it that way. And I'm like, you're welcome. And you can do that with mining too. It's like you mine with it. If you finally can, you see a good deal on a better card, you can be like, oh man, I can sell these couple of cards off that are not really making much money and grab one of these better GPUs. Rent 4090. Not anytime soon, my dude. Not anytime soon. With the Bitcoin market keeps on going down, it's really hard to justify spending money. Because that's like Bitcoin that I'm spending in order to do that. And talking about like some AMD stuff also, kind of going right down the lineup on here. BioStar introduces the Radeon 7600 graphics card. Yo, dual fan setup, normal size GPU. We're back into like normal size GPU territory. Amazing. I always loved the older style with the exposed heat pipes like this. I don't know about you, but I like that. It gives you more of that that steampunk style vibe to it. So if you're trying to theme out your PC, you'll be able to do that. It gives you three display ports and one HDMI, because HDMI, they've got to pay a royalty for each port they put in there. So it's really not worth putting a whole bunch of ports on there. But yeah, I mean, we're, plain Jane, for sure. But we are definitely going to be seeing BioStar is going to be like probably one of your more budget-friendly 7600 graphics cards for a mid-range graphics. This one will be your cheapest one. I will guarantee, one of the cheapest ones, I guarantee it. And it's going to give you great performance in the AMD lineup. At this point in the game, when it comes down to gaming, if you're looking for the ray tracing, of course, you're going to be going NVIDIA. If you just want to get a, a budget-friendly game, a computer going. You want decent 1080p monitor. You have a decent 1080p monitor. Any GPU will damn near work. So you do not need the top of the line for 1080p, especially if your GPU can outpace your screen's refresh rate. You know, it's like if you've got a 144 hertz monitor, what's the point of having a 3080 if it's 144 hertz at 1080p? You can sit there and have a lower tier GPU in there, save some money that you can basically buy some Bitcoin with, not financial advice, and save that money. Or hell, if you're able to, you might be able to afford 2 of these RX 7600s instead of 1. You know what I'm saying? Instead of 1 bigger card that you don't need, and then you could have 2 cards in your main PC. One's mining while you're gaming, and then when you go to bed at night, they're both mining. I know. I'm filled with like these weird off the wall ideas. They are not mining advice in any way, shape, or form. What up, Big Rome? It's like 4060 Ti for that 1080p. I know, right? Yeah, because you know the 3060 Ti is not a better card for than the 4060 Ti for 1080p. I know, it's wild. In a 2060 Super, it couldn't possibly do anything too. So I mean, like you could be sitting there if you want 1080p performance gaming. You don't even need to hardly go up that product stack. You know, you can buy a cheap 1070 Ti. You'll be good. If you're sitting there and you're trying to do AAA titles, and there because like your 1080 Ti, 1070 Ti's are going to be 8 gigabytes of GDDR5. That's usually plenty. If you need a little bit more capacity, you can go after a 1080 Ti. You've got yourself your 11 gigabytes of GDDR5. Or you can get into your 1080, your 2080 Ti's, 2080, and you're sitting there really good with that one. Your 5000 series AMD cards, 6000 series AMD cards, but it's like you don't need to go after these top of the end cards unless one you want to have the top of the line gaming rig, top of the line mining rig, or you just want bragging rights to say you got all that stuff, you know. But I don't really see any real necessity for it. Most of these cards should be able to do 1080 Ti, 1080p and 1440p, which that's your 2K. Right, AAA titles, 1440p ray tracing require a higher level product. Not really. I mean, I was sitting there. It's like you could push 1440p with a 1080 Ti. No problem. You're not talking high-end tier stuff, but maybe you're not going to be able to push the full graphics array on a AAA title now. So it's like that's where you can get into the 20 series, the 30 series, the 5000 series, the 6000 series, and you're still really good with your gaming all around. You're still dealing with high resolutions. It's like unless you really want the ray tracing, you're going to go with NVIDIA. If you don't care about it, pick whichever one's going to be the best value. That's going to push the refresh rate for your monitor. That's all I would match up with is can it output to your monitor properly. After that, you get into it. It's like unless you're going into the 4 generations old, like a 980 Ti blower card, yeah, you might be struggling a little bit. Cough, cough. Kingpin guy. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like if you get a good deal on something, you get a good deal on something. You might not pass stuff up. It was good at the time. It was good at the time. Just razzing you, Kingpins for the win. But I mean, yeah, it's like you get a good deal on something, sure, you're gonna have a really cool card. You ain't getting a good deal on it, I'd be going after mid-range. Most of my stuff is mid-range. I've got a lot. I still have 1070s, 1070 Ti's, 1080 Ti's. I've got RX 580 still. I have a 1660 Ti. So I mean, I've still got all these older cards. Granted, they are off right now because they are definitely not profitable right now. So he got them when the getting was good. You know it, dude. And got a screaming deal on it. Screaming deal. And I'm like sitting here still kind of scratching my head going, how are we going to start plugging this stuff in? MSI unveils the world's fastest 14 gigabytes per second SSD, the Spectrum M570 Pro Series. So this thing is going to be slotted into the motherboard directly, but the read-write speeds on this thing is just insanity. 14 gigabytes per second reads, 12 gigabytes per second writes. Oh my god. Random access is freaking outstanding on that. But to see this thing getting plugged into the board, it's like, okay, fine. They might have gotten a good cooling solution. They might have figured it out. Somebody put enough technology into it. You're gonna make something, right? But where the hell are you gonna put this into? Like, and it's like, I guess my big question is like, if you've got a big behemoth GPU and you've only got a couple of positions for this thing to be slotted in, I wonder if they took into account a 4DIN card. It's like, as long as they have longevity. Yeah, hey Sadie, what's going on? Dropping that F. Hey! So I'm curious to see this being slotted into a board with a very large card in here, to see if there's any fitment interference issues, or would running this cause you on that particular card, if you've got a 4DIN slot card, are you now forced to have to water block it to get it so that this thing is not either breathing on the backside of the card, or the GPU is going to breathe on the backside of this? Because like, either way, we do not want to have fan being impeded in airflow. They need to have so much surface area in front of the blades in order to properly pull air in, and you don't want to be pulling off of a hot heat source on top of it. So that has always been my thing, because like, I've seen a lot of M.2s and the GPUs go right over the top of them. And having a solution like this, it's like, are you now limited that you cannot use this now because you have a thick GPU? That would be my only question. I haven't seen it slotted in any other motherboard, and it's been into the top slot. So this will be this would share your PCIe with your GPU in slot in PCIe slot 0, this would share it. So if this thing is Gen 5, then and the GPU is also, you're sharing bandwidth. So a high GPU load would also degrade the performance on this. So some motherboards will have it split where you put it into the lower slot, and now you're on its own channel, and that alleviates it. But now if you got a thick card, it's going to be right up against it. So cool little solutions. Might be something that, if it's a cheap enough of a solution for like being in a server case for mining solution, this could be a good solution to keep your M.2 cool. But I just don't see anything outside of doing hard drive mining for anybody who's doing like Chia. This might benefit somebody doing Chia. Being on an M.2, it's not like you got the proof of storage. Just could sit there and do the initial work for your plotting. But yeah, outside of just being lightning fast, I don't see any benefit to this. This might make something open up, a file open up a little faster. But I always chuckle about this. It's like, how fast is fast? Are you talking about millimeters, microseconds? At what point in time does it just not matter that you had to look away from your computer monitor for 0.2 of a second and focus in on some sunshine outside? Something that's good for your eyes. Do not fear it. You are not the nocturnal vampire. But there are people who are impatient. And I guess I'm not one of them when it comes to, I lived through the 80s. I've seen what load up screens look like. We are lightning fast in my comparison. All right. And is Ron DeSantis a wolf in sheep's clothing? I'm not sure. DeSantis promises to protect Bitcoin in presidential campaign launch event. I'm just not sure if I'm completely on board with the whole DeSantis thing. I guess it's too much of Democrats are okay with DeSantis being the candidate. I have an issue with that. I have another issue is that, in the one hand, he's a good lawmaker. Why is he a good lawmaker? Because he understands law. Why does he understand law? Because he's a lawyer. He studied at Harvard Law School. So he comes from a very wealthy background on top of this. Wealthy background, lawyer, and the swamp is okay. The swamp thinks DeSantis is a better choice than Trump. When the swamp thinks that a particular person is a good choice, you should do the opposite. At least that's my opinion. Hold on, people. All right, my truck is done. It's like Yeah, it's a real take. A few times every couple of hours, took a look at something distance to help your eyes. Yes, 100% golden wolf. Gotta keep those eyes exercised. But getting back on there, my truck's done, so I got somebody coming to pick me up to go grab my truck now. Yay! I got new tires on there. Gonna see what this is gonna cost me. For my shifter fell apart while it was at the shop, so guy fixed it for me. Awesome guy, good friend of mine. Thank God it like broke down like right there. With somebody who's also highly knowledgeable with Fords, especially the older stuff. Whenever I say I'm willing to let somebody tear apart one of my vehicles, you got to know damn well that that person's knowledge level is either at my knowledge level or higher. I have standards. Because it broke down at his shop after I got tires. I didn't even make it out of the shop. And I'm like, just do it. I mean, it's at his shop. I'm not going to sit there and take over his shop and do it myself. Otherwise, I would have. If it would have broke down in my driveway, oh yeah, I would have had it apart very quickly. Guy's way too busy. He's got a small shop, and I don't want to like tie up a bay on him without paying him. I mean, even if I were to hop onto a bay of his, I would still pay him. Just because his bays are worth money. He's got 3 bays. That's it. So, this is a pretty decent sized job. But I do have like my holdbacks and thoughts on Ron DeSantis with his whole pro Bitcoin thing. I understand some of his viewpoints on things, but he just has this. He doesn't have this presidential, call to action. So I think he needs to figure out how to get to be more upbeat, be more leader-like versus lawyer-like. We're not going into it being a debate. We're not going into it trying to do this, that, and the other. I'm now trying to watch out because I'm gonna have to. As soon as he pulls into the driveway, I'm ending this, and I gotta go pick up my truck. Yo. So. I think with knowing that he should be here any moment at this point, I'll just give it like my little ending thoughts on this, and you guys can comment down below after the video is over what your guys' thoughts are also. But I think that he would make a good vice president, not a president at this point. He does not give me those presidential vibes. He gives me those vibes of he would make a stand in certain areas, cave in others. Because he understands the art of negotiation. We don't need a negotiator. We need somebody who's a leader that's going to put his foot down and go, no, this is what we're needing to do. This is how you fix it. We're not taking anything less. But that's just my opinion. I'm not into politics and for some of that reason. So, it's like, I think that he's probably a good guy. He might be a good candidate to be a president. But I just, in my opinion, don't think that he has the leadership quality behind him for that particular role. I don't know what your guys' thoughts. I certainly don't, it's like you guys drop FAs if you agree with me. Dakota Miner dropping that FA. Rude dropping that FA. Everybody drop those FAs in the chat. It's like I'm just, it's like I just don't think that he's correct at this point in time. I think that Trump needs to get up in there, my opinion, of course, and see if he can finish the job that he started. I highly doubt he will because he's going against a machine that is much bigger than one man. That's just opinions, At the end of the day, But to see that we have JFK Jr. that's pro Bitcoin. We have DeSantis pro Bitcoin. We have two presidential potential candidates that are both pro Bitcoin. That does give me some hope, I guess, in case that Trump doesn't get through. That there are people that will try to put legislation in to help protect Bitcoin as an asset class and as a way to transfer value. So that's just my thoughts on that one. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here so that I can get ready to get going, pick up my truck. So thank you everybody for being here. As always, you all rock. You are the reason why I do this each and every day. So thank you everybody for being here. Certainly smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And of course, I will be here tomorrow morning with my workout session. Getting back into the swing of things. And I will have some more urban homestead editions coming out here. I've got more stuff in the pipeline. So I hope you guys have been enjoying all of that stuff too. And with that being said, thank you all for being here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Peace out. Stay savage. And may your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll definitely see you all on the next one.